Hello ladies and gentlemen, we are working on a 2006 Chevy HHR with a 2.4 LT. We're going to show you how to solve the cylinder 3 misfire on these vehicles, and also going to tell you about the firing order and how to diagnose the problem easier before you go out spending a bunch of money. Okay, as of I think it was Monday morning. I was driving 30 minutes to Harbor Freight. Car was running fine. Went to come on my way back. Car started shuddering and puttering and really rough idle. Kind of sound like a little tractor a little bit. And the engine light started flashing, and it wouldn't stop flashing until I got home to solve the problem. So I was able to accelerate at 60 miles an hour, no problem. But I'm not going to call a tow truck, even though this vehicle has 4 cylinders and I'm only running off 3. So that makes the engine reduce power, causes more fuel consumption, which means you'll be going through a lot more fuel than you normally do just to get it to operate. So once I got home, I diagnosed it. I did notice that, well, at least I thought the spark plugs were fouled out. And the reason why I'm going to tell you the reason why I thought that is because a year ago, well, technically 2 years ago, we replaced both of these timing shift solenoids. I mean, the timing solenoids, and they were both bad. Well, when we took this one off, the bolt actually broke inside, and I took titanium drill bits and everything that would work for this motor, even the really expensive ones. Couldn't get it out, so I put gasket maker around it and everything and filled up the hole, and it never leaked for about 2 years. So when I was checking to see why my car was having a crankage problem the other day, I mean for like the past 2 months, I went to go check it. Cylinder 2 ended up having, actually no, I'm sorry, it was cylinder 3 had tons of oil all the way up to the top of the hole, and it flooded the spark plug. So I ended up taking this coil pack off, and I end up taking this apart, cleaning it off, and taking the spark plug out, clean up and get all the oil out of that hole as much as I possibly could. Crank the car up. Had a little bit of white smoke, which is going to be normal. Can't get it all out, so it would burn itself out. And then when I cleaned up everything else, cranked it back up, it ran fine for about a week. And all of a sudden, it felt like the coil pack was going bad at the same time. It felt like the spark plug was fouled out. So I went ahead and replaced it with brand new spark plugs for all 4. Anyway, because these 2 had a little bit of light oil on it, and the other one had a lot of heavy oil. So I thought I just fouled it out. So I mean, I don't like using different types of spark plugs. So I bought all brand new ones, put them all in, and cranked it back up. Did the same thing. So then I was like, well, okay, it must be the coil pack or coil packs. So the way I tested it, because since cylinder 3 was the problem, I ended up switching cylinder 3 to cylinder 4 and put the good coil pack that was on cylinder 4 on cylinder 3. So I tried the trick where I let it idle, the light won't pop up. I had to drive it at least 1 or 2 blocks down the road. The light was flashing again. It came on. Brought it home. I checked it. Come to find out, it was throwing off cylinder 4. So that's how I knew that cylinder 3's coil pack that was switched over to cylinder 4 was bad. So that told me right there that cylinder 3 coil pack was bad. That's one way you can do it. I mean, you're not going to be able to sit here and just unplug one at a time when it's running and go be able to find the symptom. It doesn't work like that. You technically have to switch the bad one to the good one, and put the good one on the bad one to be able to diagnose which coil pack it is, and make sure that's the coil pack that's going bad. Simple as that. So, but be sure when you do that, you always reset your engine's computer before you do that, so it deletes all the codes. And if it pops up with a new code like mine did, it said cylinder 4 misfire, says cylinder 3, That's how I knew the coil pack was bad. So, since I couldn't buy these, I didn't have any in stock, I ordered them offline, got a 4-pack of them. They're coming in today. I'm going to just replace them all, but I'm going to be smart. And since this one's actually bad, I'm going to throw this one out and keep the other 3 just to be on the safe side, because these 2 are actually GM. These 2 are aftermarket, and I don't like running, you know, 2 different types of coil packs either, because you don't know if it's going to kick off the same ampage or the same spark or whatever. I was always taught, you know, to replace them all at one time, so you know they all act the same way. So in case if one of them goes bad, you know, then hopefully you'll be able to know what's really going on, which you should know regardless. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take all these out anyway. I'm going to show you how to do that. And what you're going to need is, you're going to need a 10 millimeter socket and an extension, which is somewhat necessary. You don't have to have one this long. I got a 1/4 ratchet, and these are 10 millimeter bolts. So you just want to be sure you get your lefty loosey on right. Alright. But always be sure you unplug these first. And this car is pretty simple, so you shouldn't really have to play the guessing game of the firing order. So what you do is, you got these little clips here. If yours are really easy to push down, you just push down, pull out, inspect it. Always be sure there's no oil or anything inside of them. Same with this one. You push down, pull out, and there you go. And you go to this one, diagnose it, no oil, no corrosion whatsoever. Same for this one. And as you can tell, all these connectors are in perfectly good shape. They're not broke, no corrosion, no oil, no nothing. This one had some of it in it the other day. I ended up cleaning it out. That one's the same way. Now, I did think that it was the valve cover, but there was no leaks anywhere and nowhere in here, and it wasn't the valve cover gasket, so I wasn't going to replace it. What it is that over about 2 years, I guess the gasket maker that was around here ended up leaking a little bit, and the reason how you can diagnose that problem is that it always flows all the way down to like maybe here, and it's very, very light oil. It's not a lot. It's like a teeny bit, not enough to be concerned, but enough for me to redo it again. But I mean, if it's heavy oil that is spilling out pretty bad, it's gonna flow like all the way behind here down this crease, and it's gonna crease all the way over here, and it's gonna start dripping all the way down here and pile up down there a little bit. It's gonna make it seem like your oil cooler's leaking, which it's not. So I sealed out, but I had this off Monday to diagnose everything and see what the problem really was. Kind of find out it was the oil leak from this. I guess for 2 or 3 months it was causing an issue, but mainly for the cranking, the long cranking time. So here we go. We're gonna pull this one out. These don't take a lot of pressure. You just loosen them up so you know you lose all that tension, so you can at least be able to pull them out. Now, please be aware that these screws that hold on these coil packs do fall out, because they're not those ones that stay on there. So be sure you pull them completely out so you do not lose them, because I know that certain bolts can be hard to find, and if you have spares, then I recommend you use them if you do lose them in your engine. So, I mean, and most of the time on these extensions, they don't always, since they don't have like a lot of, they have like a good amount of thread, but they don't always want to click. So sometimes you just got to take your hand and just do this to make the process faster. I have an impact gun, but my wife's using it for inside the house in the garage. I had to bring it out here, but I don't really like using impact guns on these, because just in case if you strip them out. We're talking about like a rechargeable 20 volt. We're not talking about using an air compressor, you know. And always be sure, take your time, do it the right way, then you'll be good to go. Yeah, we should be good. Yeah, see, it's how long the bolt is. These two were the original bolts that were on this when the car was new. But it's the best way to really do it. And all you do is, when you get a bolt out, you just pull it. You might have to wiggle a little bit. And that's what they look like. Kind of hard to see, but the pin piece is in there. These still work. I want to just change out the one, but if you already have it open, you got all four, just change them out anyway. And you can tell these are a 4-pin. And these boots do come off, so they are replaceable, which I don't think it's worth. I mean, they can be worth the money, but sometimes they're like 30 to 60 bucks for a pair of boots, when you can probably buy a whole pack of these online for about, probably like what, between 40 to like 80 bucks for 4 of them all together. And you go to the auto parts store and you pay about, what, 55 to 60 bucks a piece. Now, I didn't switch these out last night, so I know for a fact that this is the bad coil pack, because I didn't switch them back. So, I hate to say it, but this one is going to go in the trash, because this one is shot to shit. I think this is the one, I don't know how this one went bad, which is kind of weird, because when this one had all that oil on it, and as you can tell, there is no oil, especially in cylinder 1, cylinder 2, can't see 3 yet, and 4. I mean, these are completely okay. This one's full of oil all the way up to here, but this one wasn't in that hole. But I thought that with all that oil, I thought it would have destroyed the other coil pack and spark plug, and not destroy just this one, this hole. And how do these coil packs get destroyed normally? One, they can get destroyed due to heat, oil leak, and that can, a lot of times that can cause normal wear and tear. Or the copper could have just probably went bad in this thing, because they don't make things like they used to anymore. So put that one there so we know it's bad. Pull the screw out there. Pull this one out. There you go. You can tell these are clean. And these two, and to be honest, these two were replaced in 2022. And this one has lasted longer than that one. So God knows what tore that one up. But like I said, it could be, if it gets too much, if you ever have an oil leak in the past, using these like more than once, I mean, that can also destroy the process as far as it working. And that's basically all you do, and you have access to all your spark plugs. Now, just a reminder, if you're trying to figure out this firing order, which I done showed you earlier, but I'm going to show you all again, the firing order on the 2.4 liter Ecotech engine on the HHR, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't go reversed. It does not go 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes, cylinder 1 starts on the pulley side and goes all the way down. The 2.2s, I'm not for sure. I don't know if they're the same firing order, but it's kind of weird because when I looked online, I found 2 different blueprints for the same year car for the 2.2, and the 2.2 states that it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then another diagram for this car says it's reversed, showing 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm like, that's not right, because always on these cars, that's on this 4 cylinders, most of the time, cylinder 1 starts on the pulley side and works its way all the way down, not reversed. It's pretty simple. You would think it would be different, like the V6s, but it's not. This goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's no coil packs. They're just plain old sensor plugs. That's all they are. And all these clips are good. Now, when you connect these back up, and if your connectors are really stiff and they don't make a click sound and they don't slide all the way up on there, like if they don't slide all the way up to this notch, I mean, there's a possible chance that your connector could be broke, wore out, and you might want to replace them, because on these cars they're very sensitive. If you do not have these plugs completely plugged up in clicks on this, it can cause a loose connection. It can cause your coil pack it can basically cause your computer to think that these things are actually bad when they're not. So if you have a feeling you forgot to plug one up, or you didn't plug it up correctly, I would test them and be sure they're all clicked in, but always be sure you do it right the first time, because if these don't click in all the way, they can cause a problem of it not giving a good spark to the spark plug. And it can cause the same symptoms as a P0303 code. But if they're already connected properly, they won't go any further and they all clicked, and it still does the same thing, then there's a possibility that it's one of your coil packs. Spark plugs can usually throw off a misfire code too, but sometimes, I mean, it could be the spark plug at the same time. It could be the coil pack, or it could be the coil pack and not the spark plug. Always be sure it's best to take a rag and clean all this debris out and clean up around it, so we don't have to worry about anything getting in there later. But that's why these coil packs have these boots on here and these protector things to keep oil and stuff from like that from getting in there. So clean everything up. You get your 10mm bolts, shove them back in there, and you'll be fine. I hope this video helps about the 2006 Chevy HHR cylinder 3 misfire code P0303 code. If you have any questions, you may contact me at any time. And please don't forget to click the subscribe button and visit our website for more information and details if you like. We will be making a part 2 video on this when they come in later today, to show you what the outcome was and how it's going to sound and everything. And y'all have a beautiful day and have a great one.